All right. So to another sad nursing story, and this is out of the country. With all of these sexual assault and sexual misconduct allegations going on in the world, you would think people would try to smarten up. You would think that people would stop being such jerks and assholes. But no, people are just apparent about it now. They just want to put it out there for the goddamn world to see. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you some context here. All right, so a private hospital in South Korea has set off a scorching round of criticism after its nurses complained they were forced to perform a sexually suggestive dance in front of their employers. Yes, forced. These nurses who went to nursing school to learn about science and bringing human beings back from being in the worst, most vulnerable situations in their life, bringing them back to health, to put them in a situation like this, to force them to dance and shake and move in the most scantily clad clothing, in the most stereotypical picture of a nurse. It's so gross and obviously wrong, and it's like, I don't get it. I don't get how can anyone on the planet, and this is the entire hospital, these are the management of the hospital that thought, oh, this might be a good idea. Let's have our nurses that care for our patients, that bring this community's health up. Let's get them in some scantily clothes and have them dance for us. That's a good idea. Jesus and Lord. So the Korean Nurses Association has called on authorities to investigate claims that Sacred Heart Hospital of Hallym University forced its nurses to wear cleavage-revealing tube tops and short pants as part of a dance performance that was viewed by an audience of around 1,000 coworkers and hospital executives at an annual sports event in October. So the Korea Times reports a nurse claimed some women who were part of the routine cried with shame during such events. When the Korean Nurses Association was asked, they said this is a grave challenge to the vocation and self-esteem of nurses. There are numerous nurses who endure an intense workload, low paycheck, and frequent overtime with their sense of duty and vocation. Considering this, the scandal was defamatory and offensive to these nurses. And I know that not stereotype, but like for Halloween, people dress in sexy nursing outfits, right? And this is just another example of, it doesn't matter what a woman does. And I'm a male nurse, but it's like in Massachusetts, in America, I'm pretty sure it's like 85 and 95% women that do nursing. It doesn't matter the job a nurse does, It doesn't matter the job a female does. They're going to turn every situation that would be looked upon as a profession of respect and responsibility and dignity, which the nursing profession is. They will turn that into ooh, that's sexy. Let's have them dance for me. Let's have them wear some really skimpy clothing so they can show off their body. It is gross. It's the most disrespectful thing in the goddamn world, right? It's can you just show just a little bit of decency? And this is the thing that bothers me the most about this. If it was two guys that asked, if it was one doctor that asked a nurse to dance with them, that's like, that doctor's a fucking douche, right? If it's like a couple of dudes and those guys are fucking assholes. But it's the goddamn hospital. It's the entire hospital. This is why this is why women everywhere are screaming at the top of their lungs now, are coming out with all of this stuff, because this is the culture they live in every single day. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter how well they do it at their job. It doesn't matter if their job has the furthest thing to sexuality, to being sexy and scantily clad. It's not, these are not actors. These are not models. These are nurses that come into work, that do their job every single day. And the one thing they want when it comes to this huge event, 1,000 people, and they ask these newly hired nurses, brand new nurses, why don't you guys go on stage, get naked, wear this really skimpy clothing, and shake your butts for us? I mean, and we wonder, it's the goddamn culture. We wonder why women everywhere are screaming, women everywhere are super pissed, and you can, enough is enough. We gotta cut this bullshit. Enough is enough. And to think, like, I mean, like, that's what they had to deal with, these nurses, right? And like, imagine now tomorrow, the next day they have to go to work and they have to try to be professional, right? How is that possible? How can you heard, I told you, some of the nurses were crying with shame. It's disgusting. So just to let you know, on top of this horrendous shit that they have to deal with, in addition to the forced dance performance, the nurses also claimed they were coerced to work extra hours without pay, and those forced to dance are usually the new hired nurses who are unable to refuse such orders. We are forced to dance in front of a high-ranking officials of the firm who sit side by side at a long table, one nurse wrote on social media, according to Korea Times. New nurses, right? They'll do anything they can do because they're working in a hospital. They got their dream job. They worked their entire lives for this. They paid so much money to go to college for this. They finally get the job, right? They're being forced to work overtime. They're tired as hell. The workload is shit. The pay is low. And on top of that, they're like, you know what? Why don't you get into this outfit and dance for us? Because that's what we need. It's disgusting. It's gross. It just is. It's the worst.